I can't begin to imagine the amount of persecution that Jesus endured. Hanging on a cross, taunted in an excruciating pain, you would think that the Lord would have no other focus than himself. Not so. Even during his suffering, our Savior was still thinking of others, all because of his never-ending love. Hello, this is Lisa Moore from the Christian Kitchen Table with this week's Sip of the Word. No matter how many times I read the story of the crucifixion and what Christ endured on our behalf, I can never get through it with a dry eye. His entire life here on earth, from birth to death, was a perfect shining testimony to the unconditional and selfless love he so freely offers to all. Even while hanging on a cross in excruciating pain and until he breathed his last, Jesus continued his ministry, demonstrating grace, mercy, and love until the very end. They took Jesus, therefore, and he went out, bearing his own cross, to the place called Golgotha. There they crucified him, and with him 2 other men, one on either side, and Jesus in between. John 19:17-18. Jesus, innocent and blameless, was made to be degraded by hanging the King of the Jews between 2 common thieves. While one of the men joined in the crowd, mocking Jesus and hurling insults at him, the other admitted his guilt and professed faith, asking the Lord to remember him when he entered into his kingdom. Even with the physical pain Jesus was experiencing, the Lord didn't hesitate to give this man his unmerited grace, saying, "Today you shall be with me in paradise." Then the soldiers, when they had crucified Jesus, took his outer garments and made 4 parts, a part to every soldier, and also the tunic. Now the tunic was seamless, woven in one piece. So they said to one another, "Let us not tear it, but cast lots for it, to decide whose it shall be." John 19:23-24. Imagine Jesus looking down from his cross and seeing the angry mob crying out for his death, the mocking religious leaders, and the soldiers who had beat, ridiculed, spat on, and crowned him with thorns, now gambling for pieces of his clothing as a souvenir. Filled with agony, Jesus looked upon them not with admonishment, but with mercy, praying, "Father, forgive them, for they do not know what they are doing." When Jesus then saw his mother and the disciple whom he loved standing nearby, he said to his mother, "Woman, behold your son." Then he said to the disciple, "Behold your mother." John 19:26-27. Bruised, battered, and nearing his death, Jesus wasn't concerned with his own needs, but with those of his loved ones. Knowing he would soon leave them, and that his mother and his dearest friends would each need the other, Jesus told them to take care of and love each other as family. He wanted them both to receive the comfort they would soon need, and from that hour the disciple took her into his own household. Tortured and nailed to a cross, no one would blame Jesus for being so overwhelmed by his pain and suffering that he could think of nothing else. Yet instead he repeatedly demonstrated his incredible, selfless, and never-ending love for others, never wavering in his grace and mercy. Hebrews 12:2 tells us that Christ endured all of this, the wounds, humiliation, and shame, for the joy set before him. What is this joy? It's you, it's me, and all who would be saved through his death and resurrection. With his never-ending love, he gave his life, and with his dying breath, he gave us life. Never again will we find condemnation, for as Jesus cried, "It is finished." This is Lisa Moore with the Christian Kitchen Table saying, "The grass may wither and the flower may fade, but the word of our God will stand forever."